Hi, everyone. Welcome here. We're so glad to have you back in our home again on Thursday night. And we have a special evening in front of you here today. And so glad for all of you who are on the live chat already. The first thing we're going to do tonight that we've been so excited about all week is we're going to introduce to you the advisory team. This amazing group of people behind the scenes who's helping with this whole ministry, helping us get this thing started. So much work. There's so much stuff we'll want to tell you in the days ahead of the work that's being done behind the scenes, and some amazing people that I'm so grateful for who are helping us out in this whole venture. So we're actually going to invite you into a little Zoom chat. And so I'm going to they're going to introduce themselves. You're going to see the whole team. You're going to learn their names. You're going to learn a little bit about them. And so while you're in the chat there, please feel free to welcome the team. Hello, everyone. We're on Zoom together, and here is our advisory team, the team that's helping us get this ministry started and off the ground. And we're going to go around the circle, and they're going to introduce themselves. So we're going to start with Bill. Bill Pipke is a good friend of mine and a mentor. Bill, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone watching here tonight?
I'm Bill Pipke, and my wife Shirley and I have had the privilege of pastoring for approximately 40 years. And then the Lord called us into full-time global work. And so today we lead two missions organizations. One is called Commissioning a Lifestyle of Integrity, and the other is called Bridging China and Africa. So when God called us to missions, we left Ontario, moved to Mitchell, Manitoba, and that started our journey towards meeting Kris and the ministry.
Thanks for that, Bill. Is there anything else interesting you want to tell us about yourself, or what you're excited about with this new ministry? Anything like that? Fire away.
Well, I could tell you that although my wife and I never had the privilege of having biological children, we had 21 children who were teenagers in our home over the years. And I'm excited about this ministry for two reasons. One, I love your passion, Kris, to reach out and be relevant in the community we serve. And secondly, to give intelligent biblical answers to the big questions.
Thanks for that, Bill. So good. I'm just so glad for each of you. Thanks for being a part of this. Doug Loeppky, you're up next. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about who you are, a little bit about yourself.
All right, yeah, so name's Doug Loeppky, married to my wife Carla for 28 years. We have three boys in that, I guess, young adult teenage years, so 19, 15, and 11. And then actually soon to have a daughter-in-law in a couple of months, so that's exciting. But yeah, just, work in the business world. We own our own company in Winnipeg, landscape construction. And yeah, just loving kind of getting to, I guess, be in this group of people. And obviously with Kris, I started doing cell about 4 or 5 years ago together. And that's where I kind of got to, I guess, know more of your vision and just learn to know a little bit more about you, I guess, than you would just from listening to you on the pulpit. So yeah, it's exciting to be involved with this and kind of what God's doing with the different directions that you're going to be going in ministry. So.
And Doug, what do you and your family like to do in winter? I know you were just out west. Maybe just give everybody a little insight into what you and your boys and Carla love to do every winter.
You know what? We love the outdoors. I've always loved the outdoors. So yeah, as a family, it's always been a huge kind of, I guess, deal for us. We love the mountains, love going out skiing and snowboarding, and just love being outdoors in general. But yeah, in wintertime, when my holidays are happening, if we can, and if the governments allow us, we'll leave the province and go and enjoy the mountains. So yeah, that's kind of where you find us as a family, just enjoying each other and enjoying the outdoors.
Thank you, Doug, and yeah, he really brings a lot to this team as well. Eric, you're up next, buddy. Why don't you tell us all a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm Eric Enns. I'm married to Carol. We've been married for 20 years. Have 4 kids, which includes my daughter-in-law. So it's very great. mountains, love anything outdoorsy, photographs. I love taking pictures of God's creation. That's something I love to do with my kids, with my family, stuff like that. And we have an exterior finishing company here in Mitchell, which we've had since 2006. So yeah, that's kind of just a bit of an introduction.
And Eric, how long have you and I known each other?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know if I can put an exact number to that. We will have known about each other for many years already. But the connection came probably, I would say, about 4 years ago, maybe, where it got a lot closer. We started going for lunches and doing coffee and stuff like that. And I just really felt very strong to spend time in prayer for you and your family as being a lead pastor. And so yeah, just to be able to connect that way, and that's been really good. And now moving forward, I'm excited to be a part of this ministry. Just like what Bill said, is the community, being a part of community. I love community. We focus with our business a lot on community. I think it's incredibly important. And then reaching out to the young people is definitely on my heart as well. And I know that's where yours is too, Kris. Being able to reach the young people, letting them ask the questions that they feel in their heart, and being able to dialogue and question and answer, and maybe not have it all figured out, but be able to walk it out together in relationship, building each other up. So very excited about that.
Oh, so glad to have you guys all on board here. Next up is Orville Friesen. And Orville, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Orville Friesen. I'm married to April. She's a nurse at the Steinbach Hospital. Some of you, well, hopefully you haven't run into her there. Anyways, we've been married for almost 35 years. We have 3 married daughters and a 2-year-old grandson. I can tell you that as fun as parenting is, grandparenting is much better yet. You get to send them home at the end of the evening when they're cranky, so that's good. I work for a company called XL Door Cooperative. You will probably know that as the company formerly known as Granny's Poultry in Bloomington, Manitoba. Kris and I have known each other for about 10 years. I met him through a prayer ministry at Southland, and so that started the relationship. I've walked alongside him now for a few months, and the processes we've been through, and it's been good.
Yeah, Orville, I really appreciated you. Yeah, you've been really awesome. Anything else you want to tell everybody, either about your family, yourself, before we move on to the next one?
Well, I can tell you that during COVID, I've worked hard on my hair growth, so my hair is longer now than it has been since I was a teenager. Quite proud of that, but also happy to be getting a haircut next week. And during COVID, I've actually taken on cooking, so I've quite enjoyed Googling recipes and trying them out on April and I. And so when this thing opens up, we'll start testing those on some other victims, or I mean, a company, I should say. Yeah. I also enjoy woodworking, and I'm just really excited, Kris, to to see you starting this Thursday night teaching. I think it's awesome. It's a real connection that you're making with many people, and I'm excited to watch how God leads you and LaDawn going forward, and just to be part of it all is fantastic.
Thank you, Orville, and I look forward to trying your cooking after you've tested it on Paul. John Penner, introduce yourself, please.
Sure. I'm John Penner. This is my wife, Susan. We've been married for about 20 years, and we have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. They are all in the middle school to high school range, and I'm a partner at the local lumber zone here in Steinbach, and we've been doing that for about 8 years now. So.
And how long have we known each other, John? No stories.
The interesting part of our life, right? I've known you, Kris, for over 25 years. Met you, I think, back in the old Kleefeld youth group. And we've had a few experiences since. One interesting fact that people might want to know is Kris and I were once roommates together when we were going to university. We shared a huge room that was at least probably 10 by 12. Big enough that we both did not have any furniture in the room. It was just us sleeping on the floor the whole school year. So that was a very enjoyable year.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and we'll
Yeah.
leave it at that. Susan, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
Hi, my name is Susan Penner. As John mentioned, we've been married for 20 years. Some of you might know me from City Council, but aside from that, during my day job, I'm an executive director for a local pro-life organization that just moved to Steinbach. So I'm really excited about that. I'm passionate about the pro-life movement, so I'm very excited to be taking on that role.
And Susan, we've been involved doing ministry and stuff for years as well. How long have you and I known each other?
Well, it'll be about 21 years, I think. I first got to know you through John, but shortly after we started leading college and career together and then Saturate together. So you and I actually have experience working together, and that was a positive experience. So here I am.
Lucy, and by the way, again, for those of you who are just tuning in late, we are introducing the advisory team that's helping. This is not just me and LaDawn. We got this team together, and there's a ton of work and planning and prayer going on behind the scenes. And so this is the team that's pulling it all together. So Lucy, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone?
Okay. My name is Lucille Rempel, and I've been married to Bob for over 40 years. We've been blessed with 2 married kids and their spouses and 5 awesome grandchildren, and they're between the ages of 1 and 12. We've lived in Mitchell all of our married life, and it's been a great place to raise a family. I officially retired from Southern Health a number of years ago, but I've continued to work in the medical administration department on a half-time basis, and it's a really rewarding job. And Kris, Bob and I have known you for many years, probably more years than you've known us, because the first cell group we were in met in Kris's home when he was still living at home. Kris was a young teen at that time, and we've been following Kris's life through all the important events in his life, and we've really appreciated his gift of teaching.
And last year, Lucy and Bob and I and some others got to go to Israel. What was the highlight of that Israel trip for you guys, Lucy?
Oh, it's hard to pinpoint one thing. We just found that it made the Bible become so much more real to us. It was actually not our first time there. The second time that we went, it was even more real to us, and just seeing things that happened, see where they happened and see where the scrolls were, and seeing Jerusalem and the temple. It was just an amazing trip, and it was great getting to know you and Joy better on that trip.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got to go with my daughter Joy on that, so that was that was a blast. And last but certainly not least, Paul, why don't you introduce yourself to everyone? We just need you to unmute your mic, Paul. If you could just unmute your mic.
Oh no.
And then if we could have your video.
People before, I wasn't going to forget to mute the mic. Now
Yeah.
I need to get my camera going. How was that?
There we go.
Okay. I'm an IT guy. I'm just kidding. This June, Sue and myself will have been married for 40 years. We have son Tim and his wife Ashley, and my daughter Chantel and her good friend Mark. And we have 2 grandkids, Brooklyn and Ezra. And I totally agree with Orville. Had I known that, I'd have had the grandkids first. But that is all great. We love our family. We love our kids. I am a real estate agent and also a partner in the Coldwell Banker office that we just opened up 3.5 years ago. And so that was a new challenge, something that wasn't in the bucket list. But nonetheless, we're enjoying it. When God is in it, then it all makes sense. Something about Kris. I was hoping that I'd known him the longest, but Lucy beat me with her how many years she's been married, and I think she may have seen Kris before I did. I got to know Kris 26 years ago. And something I want to tell you, if you want to have really interesting teaching and that kind of stuff, Kris is your guy. If you want to move and you need somebody to help you move, Kris is not your guy. And it reminds me of a story that his mom shared with Sue and myself, that they were moving grandma out of a third floor balcony, a third floor. And so grandma just wanted to keep the love seat. And so Kris and a guy that he was with, just for kicks, they took the other part of that set and they threw it off the balcony from the third floor, and it just, of course, smashed to pieces. And then his mom came and said, Kris, grandma has changed her mind. She wants to keep the other piece. And Kris, of course, was ashen white. And all I remember her saying was, Christopher. So if you want to move, don't call Kris. If you want really great teaching, different story.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Paul. And that is a true story, unfortunately. Thank you, everyone here on my advisory team. And we're going to say goodbye to you guys now on the live part. Thanks for coming on and introducing yourselves here to everyone. And thanks for saying yes to this team and all the work you guys have put in already. This last month has been incredible. We appreciate you. And yeah, we love you guys. So thanks, everyone. If anybody you know couldn't watch tonight, who's been wondering who's on the advisory team for this ministry, then let them know. Check out the website, and everybody's names will be there.
Yeah.
So,
and one thing we talked about with them is, now that you know who they are, you can be adding them to your prayer list and praying for them there. They do a lot of the legwork in helping us get a constitution ready and figuring out all this stuff with how to start a church. So yeah, prayers for them and their family are greatly appreciated.
Very much.
Mm-hmm.